Hey everyone, namaste. Welcome back to Ajay Joshi Chemicals. First of all, my apologies that there has been a significant delay in uploading a new video onto this channel. The reason being, I'm in my hometown, Pithoragarh, Uttarakhand. It's been cold and I'm spending time with my family, some downtime away from work. So I also got carried away and did not focus much on work. But anyway, I'm back now. And today's video is going to be on China+1 thing, the whole narrative that has come out multiple times in the past also, but has never played out well. Uh, so it has always been, a hypothesis only that China+1 is happening. But I rather call it China 2.0, that is China's very strong rebuttal and comeback. They are not letting any other country to become a substitute or an alternative country to China. With regard to chemicals, China is the global factory of the world. They do control the supply chain across chemicals, whether it is base chemical or specialty chemical or intermediates. Now they are aggressively investing into petrochemicals also, petrochemicals which are essential raw materials to make downstream chemicals. So full-fledged supply chain control has been done by China in the past 2 decades, and I believe that they will continue to be on the same path. But before diving into the video, why China 2.0 and why not China+1 this time also, when the Trump tariffs are looming over China and uh, India and other developing countries are saying that we can be the alternate to China. Let's go back to this term China+1, how it got started. It got started back in 2017, 2018, when the CCP, Chinese Communist Party, came out with pollution control norm with regard to the chemical sector. They restricted a lot of companies in China from producing various chemicals due to the pollution it was generating, due to the bad effluent it was generating. Plus, they also rolled out a policy where they directed the chemical sector to move away from coal-based chemistries and also from coal-based power plants to run their factories to cleaner energy sources like natural gas. So everyone thought that the production cost of chemicals in China would go up now. Particularly European countries thought so. It did not happen. China came out strongly. They tied up with Middle Eastern countries. They tied up with American suppliers, uh, and their production cost remained under control. Then immediately after COVID, 2021, 2022, China+1 term again, it surged back, and this time. Uh, Many countries, including India, believed that yes, now Western countries, particularly American customers and European customers, would move away from China and would make India a preferred supply partner, trade partner. For that, India had to do a lot of capex in the chemical sector into chemistries like phosphoric acid derivatives, into amines, into various polymers, but we did not do it. India did not do any significant capex in chemicals in 2021, 2022. Rather, we were then also dependent on China for raw material supplies. Even for raw materials for agrochemicals and pharmaceuticals, we did not even invest in those chemicals then. So India could not leverage the whole post-COVID supply chain disruptions that were happening from China. Uh, because India could not leverage, China again came back. Now, again, in lieu of Trump tariffs, when 200% tariffs were on China, everyone thought that this time the whole China+1 thing would finally be proven. The hypothesis China+1 would be true this time. But now the tariffs are back to 30%. The tariff difference between India and China, not much. Tariff difference between China and other countries, not much. So this time also, it is not going to impact China significantly. This time also, I strongly believe that China+1 would not happen. Now let's dive into why China+1 would not happen this time also. So for that, let's look at the global chemical sector demand, and China accounts for 44% of this global chemical sector demand. China demand is 1.7 times than the combined demand of European Union and United States demand. So, such huge domestic demand makes China an attractive market for American companies, for European companies, and now even for the Middle Eastern companies to invest into assets there. And that is the reason BASF, the world's largest chemical company, has always have always had China in their good books. They have recently invested around $10 billion in their Golden Island project in China, where they are creating an integrated chemical and polymer complex. Similar is the case with Saudi Aramco and ADNOC. They have also invested heavily into China. Similar is the case with American chemical companies like Celanese, Covestro, chemical companies. Sorry, Covestro is a European chemical companies, but American companies like Celanese, American companies like Corteva, agrochemical company, they have also been heavily investing into China. But apart from the strong domestic demand, Chinese trade policies, export policies have also been very good, particularly their FTA. So this also makes China as a good export hub to the rest of the world. India, the recent efforts by the Modi government are very good. We recently signed up an FTA with UK. We are in the process of signing up FTA with more countries like ASEAN countries and European Union countries. But China had FTAs in place many, many years ago. So strong domestic demand and very good foreign export policies made China the darling of global chemical manufacturers, and that's why they have always invested into China. You look at India. In the last 10 years, no global top out of the top 10, I don't think any big chemical company has invested into assets into India. Let's take BASF, which is an agrochemical company, and India is a major market. They don't even have an asset in India. They always outsource manufacturing to smaller companies in India, but they do have very big production plants of technicals and formulations in China. So we need to ask this question, uh, let's say even if China+1 happens, is India the substitute country or not? Because we are not doing capex without manufacturing, without making in India, the actual make in India would not happen. The government has been pushing very hard in attracting foreign investment. For that, we also need to make our policies more attractive. We need to tempt these foreign companies that instead of going to China now, come to India. Now, let's see the revenue of top 15 chemical companies country-wise. So on the right side, if you will see, the top 15 chemical companies of China registered 7% growth in revenue in 2023 over 2022. This is calendar year numbers. On the other side, India registered a degrowth. United Kingdom, Germany, and United States chemical companies were worst affected, and they registered 17% degrowth for UK companies. German chemical companies, top 15 chemical companies from Germany, they registered 21% degrowth, and US based chemical companies registered around 14.5% degrowth in 2023. So, China again triumphs here because they have very strong demand. While the demand in UK slowed down due to recession there, due to economy worries, in Germany again the Russia-Ukraine thing made German production non-competitive. A lot of production slowed down there, so downstream demand was not there. In US, a lot of turmoil, geopolitical turmoil, and economy worries again created a degrowth situation for the chemical sector. But look at China. In Asia, China registered 7% growth. Korea registered some little growth. India, on the other side, registered a degrowth. So again, China is the shining star in Asia. Now, why Trump tariffs are going to have little to no effect on China? Let's see American chemical companies' revenue outside of China. So, American chemical companies' overseas revenue increased at around 54% from 2009 to 2022. But American companies' revenue in China increased 162%. Wow, what a staggering number. 162% revenue increase from 2009 to 2022. On the other side, their revenue did not grow much in India. Their revenue saw a degrowth in Japan, and even in Singapore, it has been volatile. But in China, their revenue has shown significant year-on-year increase and 162% increase. It's a huge number. And America is a capitalist country, so there's no chance that American chemical companies would run away from China and target other market. There is no other bigger market right now than China. Even for the past, I think for the past 10 years, I don't think there is a bigger consumption center for chemicals than China. So where to sell their chemicals if not China? So they have no other option. Let's see China's global chemical trade movement. So slowly, they are reducing their import dependence. From 2019 to 2023, their chemical exports have grown by 61%, while their chemical imports have declined by 8%. So slowly, they are reducing their import dependence on chemicals. And the reason for this is again, global chemical companies are investing in China, they are producing in China for China and for the rest of the world. So it's not like a European chemical company is making in Germany and supplying to China. They are having assets in China, they are making in China for China and for the rest of the world. So China 2.0 took place despite China+1 narrative post-COVID. So a few years back also, like I was saying, immediately after COVID, everyone thought that China+1 is happening, but no, it did not happen. Look at the foreign investments in China in the chemical sector and look at the country-wise investment. European chemical companies have invested the most in China post-COVID. Middle Eastern countries in the rest of the world segment, American companies. So very balanced investment happening in China from across the globe, even after COVID, even after the supply chain disruptions were happening. Tariffs 2.0, now as on today, I don't think China is going to lose or there are going to be any significant impact on China. I had created a bear or bull case scenario, but this slide is redundant now. I don't think US customers are moving away from China anywhere in the near future, at least for the next 2 to 3 years. Tariffs and Trump 2.0 impact on India. These companies, I think we already discussed in the past videos and one of my TV interviews. And again, this video is only for educational purposes, so do not take anything from this video for anything related to investment. For that, always go to a SEBI registered broker. Since I work with the chemical manufacturers a lot, I study the chemical sector, I track the value chain, I track the chemical import and export. That's why I have made this presentation for everyone to understand what is happening in the chemical sector in India and in China. With this, I would give you one more example when Trump was there before during the COVID time, before Joe Biden, Trump 1.0 era. That time also they had put tariffs on China. But look at the Chinese agrochemical export share. It has been steady in US, no major degrowth. Look at some of the top agrochemicals that China exports to the US. Their supply share 240, which Atul makes in India. China's supply share is 60%. Atrazine 95%. Glyphosate, which many Indian companies struggle to sell, even in India, 95%. So China, even though tariffs come, a lot of these chemicals will be exempted. And now I don't think US and China are going to decouple. They both need each other. So with this, I would wrap up today's video. Let me know your thoughts on the whole China+1 situation in the chemical sector, and I will meet you soon with a new video. Namaste.